Good morning. Happy Boxing Day. That is a large goose. And also over here we have wine that is mulling, giblets that are gibleting, goose fat that is waiting, and more goose fat being melted. It's going to be fun.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
Here's our Christmas feast, Boxing Day feast. Everything has been roasted in goose fat, pretty much. All the vegetables, all the meat. And obviously, pigs in blankets in goose fat and gravy.
Mummy, help us on it.
They just pass through these things.
Mummy, help us really shoot.
Oh, sorry. Lots of you and I hold on to this. Ready? It's going to be bangy.
Here we go.
Ready?
Roll.
Hey! What was in there?
What do you want? Because you got
won.
the bigger bit, didn't
Oh,
you?
you did. What's that, Waltz?
You got a little ruler.
It's round your mouth all the time.
Walty, how many chocolates have you had?
Is it a nice chocolate?
You had 3? You had 3 chocolates? Yes, Mummy. Walk off, Mummy.
Wow, it's pretty in there, isn't it?
Go in there, Uncle Toby. It's very dark.
It is very dark, isn't
It's
it?
got lovely shiny coloured lights.
Go in there.
Should we go in there?
Yes. Wow.
It's nice and warm in here, isn't it?
No.
Is it not?
I didn't know that. Hello, Papa.
Smile. It's true. Was it chocolate? I wonder where that's gone. Whose tum-tum did that go into? Mum.
Good at passing the blame there.
I haven't finished Peter's putting the sequins on. I'm doing the snowman. You see, the snowman hasn't got any features.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas stocking.
Very nice.
I know. I eat it.
Yes, Alex, I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, it's... Ta-dum,
Has he got exactly that?
oh, it's a pekalala. It's a pekalala. Look at that.
Has he got that?
I can't see.
Absolutely wonderful.
I think he does, actually, but that's okay.
Well, we'll keep it.
So we need to have one here and one...
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
So they've done some presents as you saw this morning. It's quite a lazy day. One or other of the smallest people have been asleep at some time. Been to Waitrose, that was not as bad as it sounds. And now we're going for a little walk. Someone's taking their lion with them, obviously, as you do.
Horse. Here's a farm. Hello. You look like you're serving at the bar. I'll have a pint, please. A pint of bitter.
I don't love to a friend.
I just thought got some interesting thoughts about.
I did
say I don't do it.
Now, it hasn't got a label on it because it was the only one your size without a label.
Good job you
But
guys
I've got
already
it.
Well, no pressure.
It's quite a lot of silk in that. But you can also.
Walter, could you say thank you to Grandma and Papa, please?
Good boy. In the basket, take them home.
Yeah. Wow, look what there they all are.
someone.
Look at the big boat.
Well, why don't we save it for when you go on holiday? Oh, look at those stickers.
We are going for a bank holiday walk past the grounds of Latimer House in the sunshine. We're into the woods. It's heading towards the field at the top. The sun's gone in, unfortunately. It's still quite mild. Some amazingly tall cherry trees here. Hello, good morning. Welcome to that strange period between Christmas and New Year. You're not sure why it exists and what you're supposed to do. There's like 2 or 3 days work and it's very confusing. Anyway, we're back. Christmas hasn't happened here yet. It will happen in 3 days' time. So there are more presents still. And yes, I'm here today working on things for the New Year's Day parade. Also, I've got much more exciting news to me, but possibly less to you. I've got a new strap for a watch I used to wear as a teenager. The watch I managed to get working again. Interestingly, I'd forgotten about this watch entirely. But I started watching the X-Files again from the very beginning on Netflix, because there's a new X-Files coming out in January. So I thought, I've got to remind myself what it's like. I started watching the first season and I looked at the watch that Scully's wearing and I'm like, I used to own that watch in the 90s. And I went and found it. It's a little Casio quartz thing, which is both analog and digital. But the strap had long since broken and gone away. So I managed to find a strap on eBay and now I can wear my wonderful 90s retro watch. So I'm very happy today. The sun is out. It is very non-December-y, and yes, so this lack of winter continues. Not that I'm missing winter, I much prefer it like this, but it just means when it does come it's going to be much worse, isn't it? Let's be honest. January, February time, it's going to be icy, I'm going to be wishing for this. Never mind. Off to buy some lunch things. We have basically nothing because we ate everything before we went. We do, however, have a lot of cake, a lot of biscuits, and although that could keep me going, I feel I should have something savoury at least. So I'm going to go and buy a few things. It's a veggie day today, so I need leeks for leek and potato soup, and I also need something to have for lunch. So I made the mistake there of going to Marks and Spencer's. It's obviously the sales at the moment, not obviously in the food hall, but everywhere else. What used to be called the January sales and then ended up being called the Boxing Day sales, and it's now pretty much just a continuation of Black Friday. People are weird. People just go in there and they start buying all sorts of crap that they don't want, they don't need, but they're convinced that if they buy it, then the power of the bargain is enough to make it worth their while. Anyway, got out of there in one piece, which is a relief. And the kitchen is a bit ridiculous, partly because every single person has given us a bottle of champagne since we got engaged, which is lovely, except we don't drink that much champagne, so we're going to have to do something about that. So that came with the ring, which is very nice. And then there's a few more in there. Oh, and yes, in here, this is pretty special. Whoa! Christmas cake from Crystal's mum, which is very exciting. Although I should add that Crystal doesn't really eat Christmas cake, so I am going to eat that whole cake, which is excellent. We've also come back with the panettone, you might just be able to see there in amongst the socks, which we took down to my parents because we never got a chance to make a bread and butter pudding, so that will obviously happen at some point. There is obviously still advent calendars, which were never finished, plus there is Lebkuchen in this room and that room, and Haribo, and I think that's most of the food. But it is basically very cake heavy, and that's not a bad thing. So happy old year. I say that because you're watching this in 2016 and I'm recording it in 2015, which is weird. I think I'm coming down with a cold, which I'm very annoyed about. And it's not hugely surprising, seeing as both Walter and Albert have had colds, and both Alex and Anna had colds, and we were around them for 3 days. But I've been taking a lot of vitamin tablets, and I'm hoping for the best. So, you'll be able to tell. If Barry White makes an appearance rather than me, then you know that it hasn't worked. Good morning. Happy Christmas. The stars and the moon are out and I'm going to work. That dot there is the moon. This is ridiculous. I can't remember the last time I went to work and it was this dark. It was years ago. Anyway, I'm off to USP this morning just to do a little session that starts at 8. And then when I get home, first of all the sun will be up, and secondarily we're going to do our own Christmas, finally, on the last day of the year. So I'm back here for the first time in a while, engineering an ISDN session, which is very straightforward. There's a lot of buttons and knobs and faders and lights, but frankly you just press one or two of them occasionally. So that is the secret to engineering. There we go. I'll be out of here just before 11, and then I'm going to go home, enjoy the sunshine before we go out this evening. So we're doing our Christmas now. I'm going to take you on a small guided tour of the number of Minion related objects we have here. Now, besides the Minions themselves, there's obviously a Minion throw, as you can see here. Two of the Minions are so ashamed they're hiding. And then we have a Minion t-shirt, obviously, that's critical. Then we have Minion crackers, which is obviously very important. I have a Minion mug with Bob on. And then if you come around here, it's currently charging. There is a helicopter Minion here who flies. So I think, all in all, we've done rather well on the Minion front. No, the building's not on fire. It's just New Year's Eve and people start early. We're in Bells for New Year's Eve meal. It's 10 o'clock. And we're just going to hang around here until they kick us out, really. So I've gone for a duck pie with some pickled red cabbage and gravy. This was quite an amazing looking steak. We're the Picture and Piano in Richmond, and they're playing Someday by C.C. Rogers at 1:45 midnight. What more could you want?